Just as I'd warned, Zelenskyy has banned the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. The Ukrainian Church will become Turkish. Priests will be arrested en masse. As I've said, there's already a list of 40 priests to be jailed.
Ukraine has banned the church. People are beaten for going to church. They are mocking preachers. Attacks on churches. Priests are being arrested, brutally beaten. Not allowed to enter churches. Dozens of preachers are unalive. Ukraine has banned the churches. Yes, you heard that right. In a dramatic turn of events, the Ukrainian government has enacted a law banning a significant branch of the Orthodox Church linked to Russia. This is not just another headline. It's a seismic shift affecting thousands of believers. But what does this mean for the people of Ukraine, their faith, and their freedom?
All across Ukraine, the churches are under attack. Donald Trump says the U.S. is losing its religion and calls to prevent this. But the U.S. is also financing the elimination of the church in Ukraine. This process didn't start overnight. They spent a lot to cover the crimes against the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. They say it's about protecting democracy in Ukraine. But in the US, there's the First Amendment that protects the freedom of religion and speech. We also have our own constitution that ensures the state can't prohibit the free exercise of religion. Even if you're an atheist, just think about it. In Ukraine, the state restricts what people can believe in. They prohibit freedom of thought.
Ukraine's parliament has just passed a groundbreaking law that could change the religious landscape of the country forever. This law creates a legal path to ban a Russian-aligned branch of the Orthodox Church, further deepening a split that began decades ago. But how did we get here? Why is this law so significant, and what does it mean for the people of Ukraine? The roots of this law go back more than 30 years, to the breakup of the Soviet Union. Before that, both Russia and Ukraine were part of the same Orthodox Christian hierarchy under the Patriarch in Moscow. However, after the Soviet Union collapsed, the Orthodox Church of Ukraine broke away, establishing its own hierarchy under a prelate in Kiev. Despite this, many parishes in Ukraine chose to remain aligned with the Russian Orthodox Church, maintaining ties to Moscow. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine, these lingering ties have become a source of deep concern for the Ukrainian government. Ukrainian officials have accused the Russian-aligned branch of the church of aiding Russia through influence operations and even espionage during the ongoing war. This has turned a religious division into a matter of national security. The law gives the Ukrainian government the authority to shift control of holy sites and parishes away from the Russian-aligned church and towards the Orthodox Church of Ukraine. But it's not just about passing laws. In the name of national security, the Ukrainian government has been taking aggressive actions against the church. There have been reports of churches being closed, preachers being arrested, and even some church buildings being destroyed. These actions have sparked outrage among church members and raised serious questions about religious freedom and human rights. Many Ukrainians are out protesting against the persecution of Christians. For many Ukrainians, their church is more than just a place of worship. It's the heart of their community. The closure of these churches means disruption in their spiritual lives, with some priests facing arrest and worshipers being denied access to their sacred spaces. This isn't just a legal or political issue, it's deeply personal. It's about losing a part of one's identity, a place where life's most significant moments are shared and celebrated. To understand the gravity of the situation in Ukraine, we can look to a similar moment in the New Testament. After Jesus' resurrection, his disciples, Peter and John, were boldly spreading his teachings. This didn't sit well with the authorities at the time, who felt threatened by the growing movement. In Acts 4, Peter and John were arrested and brought before the religious leaders of Jerusalem. The leaders demanded that they stop preaching in the name of Jesus.
It is the order of this council that you do not speak the name of Jesus or teach in the name of Jesus. Violation of this order will bring punishment upon you according to the law.
Peter and John stood their ground, saying, "Judge for yourselves whether it is right in God's sight to obey you rather than God. For we cannot help speaking about what we have seen and heard." Despite the threats and the risk of further persecution, they chose to continue preaching, guided by their faith and commitment to spreading the message of Christ. This story resonates deeply with what's happening in Ukraine today. Just like Peter and John faced opposition from the authorities, many Ukrainians are now facing the reality of their places of worship being shut down, their clergy being detained, and their religious freedom being challenged. The story of Peter and John reminds us that even in the face of opposition and control, faith can be a powerful force. It teaches us the importance of standing firm in our beliefs and finding the courage to continue practicing our faith, regardless of external pressures. In Ukraine, where people are facing the closure of their churches and the arrest of their spiritual leaders, this message of perseverance and faith is more relevant than ever. Just as Peter and John found the strength to continue their mission, the people of Ukraine can find solace and resilience in their faith. This isn't just about religion, it's about the fundamental right to believe, to gather, and to find community and comfort in shared faith. In the Gospel of John, Jesus speaks directly to those who face persecution for their faith. He says, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you." These powerful words remind us that faith often means standing apart, facing challenges, and even enduring hatred. Jesus knew that his followers would face opposition and hardship, but he assured them that they were chosen for a greater purpose. In the face of trials, we are not alone. God is with us, offering strength and comfort. Let us keep the people of Ukraine in our thoughts and prayers. Let us support them as they navigate these challenging times, standing by their right to worship and to practice their faith freely. The story of Peter and John shows us that even in the darkest times, faith can be a light that guides us through. Just very quick, if this is your first time on the channel, welcome to Christ Community Tube, where we deliver Christian content from a biblical perspective. Please consider subscribing so you never miss an update, and make sure to click on the notification bell.